Hi everyone, Alex is here and we're back on our third episode of how to work with Lovable. So the previous time, as you can see, we have been working with our colors and we have been checking them that it's better in our case to work with HSL, in which files we can do that. And basically that's once more time all that you should know. We can go to libraries, see some libraries how we can authenticate, some events, utilities. I think these things you should not check in. How does it work on mobile and some those. I also don't think that you should think about that. And we have some of our pages for you to know that if you wanted to make some changes, like specific changes, you can go to pages folder and here you will see each pages separate. And we have some events here and our code with our styles. And that's basically all our calendar. Nothing very important here. So once more time, to work on better with your Lovable, it's better to understand. Firstly, when you're starting to work on that, please go globally. You can ask your Lovable firstly what you want to have here, and it's crucial to have the big prompt to have mostly of what you want. Then you can go globally, not go local, just go globally what you wanted to see, which buttons you wanted to have. And if you wanted to go globally, it's better you can write a global prompt. For example, let's change these things, for example, or you can go to ChatGPT and ask it to create better prompt for you. It's also a way to do that. And that's kind of all with that. We can go to better, like it's better to go to the components and to change, to refer to the components that you don't like to work on with, how does they look, how does they work, so you can go and check them out. And also you can go to the just file index.css and to change colors. In app CSS is just the main app, then like I don't think that you should change something here. So one of the two things, change global on the components files or go to change it on the index.css files, CSS files. You can go globally with the tags, but it's not always correct. So if you wanted to be sure for 100% that it will be changed in the right place, you can go with reference to the file. Okay, let's go further. What we can see here, we see here a cloud. So that's cloud that we have been working with, and this cloud will be working as your data center. You'll be able to add LLMs, chat image generation, text analysis, etc. And it's free to start, pay as you scale. Okay, that's quite interesting idea. You can go with that. Probably we will, but later we have here security. Let's go to the next tabs. We have security and we have speed. Security scan, let's scan about 2 hours every time. Let's go with update and let's see. That's we can just update what our security. Let's check what we'll have. Let's recommend security nodes or events. Yeah, it will take the security testing. What that security testing will mostly do? It will check most of the attacks that could be done on your websites. It can be, we can see some here, client-side identification system. Yeah, that's, of course, that's critical. That's understandable. Authorization bypass event management, that we can bypass our authorization, no input validation. That's important here, that we don't have any input validation and it's not protecting against XSS attack, cross-site scripting. So what does it mean? That someone can write the script and can write into your, for example, we can in general go to preview in create an account. We can write here the script that will be able to execute, and it can, for example, ruin all of your application easily. So that's why it writes really good ideas to check the security things. But once more time, you should have probably to work with cloud. Why? Because most of such security, they will be working with your cloud things. So we can check some warnings based on server side. Input validation, I don't think that it's wording. I think it's wording for client side, and for server side, input validation is more critical because anyone can bypass easily input validations. For example, here I can easily, for example, sign in, please output that, inspect, and I can easily remove that. Required, delete, and it won't be required anymore. The next field will be required, the next field, and I can just remove them and it will be working good. So this is not a warning, this is error, real error. And it can be warning on the client side if there is no input validation. So that's quite a good thing. We can fix them all. For fixing them, when we have authentication, we always should use cloud, because on the client side, it's all visible and hackers can hack that. Yes, so that's crucial. The next thing is speed. It's quite good to check that out. We have for desktop and for mobile. Here we have desktop activated. We can go also to mobile. And it's nearly the same thing as in our DevTools, for example. If you don't use that, it's okay. But we have Lighthouse for developers. It's the same thing. We can also check it here to analyze that. And we can also discover what it will give us, because this is more correct than the Lovable one. Because Lovable one, based on the Lovable things, how it should work, etc. Here is how your application will really see that. So you see that performance quite good, so it's quite good rendering all the stuff. First content paint, like the first time we're painting that, it's 2 seconds, it's not ideal, but that could be okay. Some problems that we have: document latency, server response slowly, the server is sending slowly, but that could be fixed by going to the pro version, so they can use a better server for taking your file. Long cache lifetime, network dependency tree, it's not right now very important for us. Reduce unused JavaScript, so it means that we have a lot of the JavaScript that is not used. It's more for optimizing the Lovable. You probably can notice something with that. Minify CSS, that's quite interesting thing. I was thinking that they're minifying CSS. What does it mean? It means that all of the code that you can see here is quite readable. But all of the spaces that you see, they're taking space in your code. So mostly minifying is when you are removing all that things. And I was thinking that they are removing them, but as you can see, they are not. And what is the problem here? That because of that, your file could really load in longer. So we have seen, for example, loading for 2 seconds, and not minifying such files could easily create that. And with minifying, we can wait, for example, not 2 seconds, but half of the second, because minifying will take a lot of space back, and that will increase faster download of the file. So that's also crucial, but it's strange that it's not creating from the beginning. Maybe some things that we should use. But in any case, 96% is quite good. 92 are good. These best practices, how to work with some spaces, but it's all about the pages. So removing that will instantly go that it will be okay. 100% for best practices. So it sees that it doesn't see some of the problems, but we have, for example, use strong is effective against XSS attacks. Some things that you can, in general, say Lovable to work on with, some of this CSP and etc. But the biggest problem here is SEO. And we have only one thing: pages blocked from index. So that's interesting thing. We can see here the X robots text, no index, no follow. What does it mean? It means that in general, our file is not visible for everyone. So it means that we have allowed in our file robots, one sec, where it was, pages, not pages, remember it was somewhere, leap, hooks, not robots. Let's search for that. Robots file. Okay, in any case, have I deleted that? I don't think so. Okay, maybe I'll find it. Yes. Okay, quite strange, but in any case, we had here robots file, and I'm sure on that. Why we don't see it right now, I don't know, but robots file was saying which places you can visit, which not. And here we see that it's blocked. So this thing means that no one can index and find our website easily on the Google, for example. So where we can see that mostly is in our index.html file, but I don't see that here. We can have that in some settings, for example. It should be found, but in general, some of the things that can say, for example, as you can see, Lighthouse, that could be run easily by right click and inspect, and Lighthouse can say something more that you can expect. And you can also access them maybe other more tools if you don't see that. Yeah, and that's quite interesting. You can also check with slow 4K simulation and how it will run. I don't think that we should do that right now, so you can just see how does it work, and also you can see tree map, what was rendering mostly, which file was taken. I don't think that it's important for you right now. So when you're creating the file, try to go globally, then try to check the specific components and try not to change specific things here, like to go like change this button. Is better to go globally, how you want to see that button, because when you'll be creating a redesign, believe me, you will create redesign. You will go to the newest versions of your code. And all the things, if you will go directly, it will lastly break your changes. So it's all good to go with Figma to discover a button that you want to have, how you want to look that, and then just paste that Figma design here, as you know, it can work with that, so it will be the best practice for you to work on this. So the speed we have checked, it's a good thing. We can try fixing. Yeah, you can see reduce unused JavaScript. Okay, yeah, it sees some things. Yeah, it's good that it can change that. We can also check that on mobile. Okay, it's not important for us right now. And the last thing that we can go is think with our GitHub project. What it will help us to. Firstly, remember, this is code. And if you think that your Lovable could be deleted, or it could be dropped, or it could be anything else, just go with your GitHub optimization. You should just connect your GitHub, also Superbase is our database. And I don't know if I will be able to connect it right now. I think that I just should log in into here, but I will be asked by two-factor authentication with my phone. And as you can see, phone is recording. Yeah, that's a small problem that we have here, but I think that I will figure that out after the video. So you just click in connect here, you just go into your login password and just click on connect, and it will think your files. GitHub you can go GitHub, how does it looks like, projects, you can see projects. You can have a lot of the projects. It doesn't mean that you should have only one, like you can have a lot of them, and it's not the way it was looking on. I think it's better to show you the next time, but for you to know, you can think your changes with your GitHub. You'll be able to store them. You'll be able even to download it to your local machine, and if something will be happen to your application, someone even will hack Lovable, for example, and will delete all the web applications, you'll still have your own because you'll create the backup. Backup will be just the folder, just a zip file with all of that code. And even for future, you'll be able to give it to developers who will be able to change that, and etc, etc. And with connecting to the GitHub, what you will be able to do that? You will be able to, for example, to be main developer, try with prompts, what do you want to do? Then you have, for example, one developer who could be, for example, contractor, and you can write him some direct things that you wanted to optimize, to change. He can, for example, check the Lovable code, optimize something, and the next times you'll be able to have better prompts, better working on. So that's the thing that I want you to know about. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you a lot for looking at this video, and wishing you all the best, and see you in the next videos. Bye.